Here we go. Welcome everybody to this live stream. We've got this is the GTL Global Tank League practice session. We're just testing the stream, testing the format, and we've got BK or Black Knights going up against Nightmare. And today's tier 10, correct?
I believe it's 8.
Yes, sir. Tier 10.
Yeah.
It's but there's a variation to it. It's 78. So you either need to use 2 tier 9s or 1 tier 8. Something a little different.
I like that. I like that. All right. So yeah, we've got BK versus Nightmare. You can see their overall stats in the top left and right of your screen. Just something I wanted to try out. So rated M, if you had this kind of setup, would you go with 2 9s or a tier 8, and which ones and why?
I think I would rather just go with the tier 8, and I would run it as a light tank. And the reason I say that is because I think there's only relatively 2 or 3 good tier 9s that are worth running, and I would rather have the extra 10s and have the tier 8 light just for your eyes and, you know, flanking ability if need. Tier 8 light, I would probably run the LTTB. I think it's probably the best tier 8. And you definitely want more of the tier 10s in there, because if the opposing team does run the 9s, then your 10s will have the advantage over the 9s.
Very cool. How would you feel if on a map like Prokhorovka, because you already are probably going to be using bat chats, to drop the light tank and go with, let's say, an M40-43?
On Proc, I think it might be a little different. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe like the 2 bat chat APs if you wanted to run the 9s, or maybe even the E50s, because on Proc you want, you know, a little bit more mobility, kind of maybe a little bit less heavy is what I would run. I mean, if the other team ran super heavy, you know, you could see the 40-43 being run, but on Proc, I think I would, if I was to run the 9s, I would do the bat chat APs or an E50s. I think those tanks would be suitable for those maps as well.
Very cool. And Pants or FaZe, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'd say, well, it all depends really. There's a couple of different factors. I guess it depends on what map you're playing and, well, what the scenario is. I think going on what Rated said, if you're going to play an open map, a tier 8 light tank for spotting. If you're playing on a map like Ensk, definitely 2 tier 9s. I think. Well, actually, you know, I guess you could go either way with that. You could even throw in a tier 8 IS-3, honestly.
Alright. IS-3. Well, Conqueror and T-54E1, interesting. I kind of like the Conqueror. I can see that doing well, just because of its gun and its turret. But the T-54E1, the fact that its premium rounds don't do that well.
Yeah. If I was to run something on a 9 on this map, it would have to be the Conqueror, the Wheezy 111, or the Bat Chat AP. Maybe an E50. I could see that. Or if you wanted another tier 9 heavy, I wouldn't mind seeing a 50-120 round. I don't think that would be a bad option for a tier 9.
Yeah, I think with the choice of 2 9s, it really makes it interesting, because then you can really have 4 bat chats, 2 9s and 2 10s. And then you can really have that auto-loading power.
Yeah.
E4, of course.
Also, another good one too is a T10. T10's a huge tank too. Just that mobility. It's the same thing as the WZ-111, really.
Unfortunately, you can't run 3 IS-7s, correct?
Correct.
That is correct. They have to drop 1 IS-7.
Yeah, yesterday when we were, or Tuesday it was when we were playing, we had 113s were used a whole lot more.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people. I'm more pro 113 over the IS7s. I've tested out. I believe the 113s are a lot faster, and plus you can't really beat like an 8.7 reload with running the food on it, and you get the heat rounds on it too. So I think you'll start to see a lot more people run 113s that have them over IS7s now. Uh,
Oh yeah. I like the 113. I enjoy it. I enjoy running it. I got to play it. It was yesterday, and it's a solid tank.
Great mobility.
and I'm one other tank I'm pro on is a 215B. I think it's just a little
Yes.
underrated because people say the fire on it, but I've watched a lot of these higher clans. People like I've seen like NS 8 bits up. These guys run those 215Bs, especially on maps like Ghost Town. And like if you can angle that thing on like a ramp or something, you still got the gun depression to shoot, and all they can really see is like your turret. And that thing has a really tough turret. I will say it has a super tough turret.
It does. It's definitely one of my favorites. That's one tank. Oh man, I miss running that thing.
The reload and the hit points, 2,500 hit points for the reload time. I mean, that's where it's
Yep.
at with that tank.
I think the best way I've found playing it in competitives with 2 repair kits and a fire extinguisher, and you just gotta say, screw my driver.
Pants
He's gonna
opposing
die.
teams are allowed to have specs, alright? There's specs allowed.
You can leave them. You can leave them unspec'd. Is fine. No problem there. You can watch on.
Alright guys, looks like both teams are picked here. Run down the tank lineup real quick. BK's coming out with an E4, a 5041, a Conquer, a pair of IS7s, a pair of E5s, and a Chieftain. Nightmare's coming out with a pair of E4s, a 1390, a Batchat AP, a Batchat 25T, a pair of IS7s, and a 113. And we are launching now.
Alright, I can see, I think with Nightmare's setup, I can see their 2 IS7s and 2 E4s holding the 1-2 line, while their faster tanks probably take the higher area, up in the E4, E5 area. May even get a boost with the Batchats up on the E4.
Yeah, I think BK is going to lack a little bit of mobility this map. I think they're going to have to play heavy 1-2 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that can be dangerous. It really can, especially if the Batchats get above you and then you're getting shot by 2 flanks, but that's definitely going to have to be their plan because they're slower tanks. And I'm curious to see how well the T-54E1 does. I don't think it's going to do too well with this kind of matchmaking, but we'll see if they can get him in a good position.
Yeah, looking at BK, they went pretty much all heavy. The 5041, 1 medium.
Oh yeah, here comes the I-7s. 1390s actually looks like he's going to be going down the middle.
I like what Gabby's doing. I think if she would have ran a little bit more up to the cap, might have been a little bit better.
Yeah, she could have gone probably down the center and gone straight up into the cap circle, but I think she was a little bit afraid of what they were sending that way. And that's understandable.
Let's see if BK does a punish on these IS7s or not, but they're going to I don't think they can spot the E4s in the back, so they're not poking.
They're definitely afraid of those E4s because they don't know where Beaver is. Beaver's not been spotted. I think that's their biggest fear right now, and they know with 1 E4 back there, the other one's probably there as well.
Let's see if Gabby Snipe can get some cross shots on these guys if they start running across.
Snipe is now spotted. No shots have been hit so far. He's now pulling back. We have got a dinghy way in the back, trying to boost up, it looks like. He's kind of, there we go, he found it. He's trying to get in a sneaky position, and he fell right off.
Oh!
I would love to put a Stritzvong up in that boost, though. I think, my favorite place, though, to boost a tank up is B1. Though this time it looks like that Nightmare decided to play the cap circle, so there was no reason to boost up there. Now the entire other flank...
This is interesting. The E5s can't light Gabby up, and that is a good advantage for Nightmare right now, because with the both E4s back there, the E5s can't poke the corner to contest the cap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we don't see the cap timer, do we? Oh, that's too bad. No tanks have received any damage yet. However, this T-5041 is moving into position. Right as I say that, 2 tanks take some damage. The T-5041 is moving into position to put some shells into the IS-7, but he takes hit to the tracks and the ammo rack. He chooses, of course, to fix his ammo rack. Danny's taking some hits. So is Kyle. As their E5s make a little spot them out as they push around the corner.
I think this chieftain's in a really good spot right here. Mouse.
Oh yes. Chieftain, another tank I really like for competitive. The only problem with it though is the APCR from the E4s goes straight through the turret no matter how many degrees of gun depression you're using.
I don't like Jesse just rolling in here.
He's by himself.
Nightmare's smart. They can take the overmatch on him and get out with HP.
Yeah, they can do it. Take some hits, but they can kill a tank. Oh, here comes the E5 push. Will the E4s be able to put some shells in? IS-7 puts a shell in E5. E5 returns into MVG. Here comes the Batchat AP. The Batchat AP, I think, is going to assassinate him. Oh, and here comes... Got a dinghy in his other Batchat.
Rambler's looking like he's going down. Rambler may go
Kyle
down
goes
here.
down. Rambler goes down, and we're back tied up.
MVG's a 1. Can they get him out?
Hit points are so even.
They get MVG.
BK's coming in from behind. BK's now got him in a pincer. And the E4 way in the back, not doing much.
Not sure what Mouse and them are doing, not taking MVG out. I don't know if they don't realize he's...
Oh, down
low
goes
or what?
The E5. Killed by the 1390 through the frontal plate. MVG's now reverse side scraping. Will he get a bounce? He does not. He goes down. Hit points still very even. Here comes Gabby.
Snipe is a 2, maybe?
So they've got tanks on both sides. What I think they need to do, Nightmare, is probably push one of the sides and just get out of this pincer.
Nightmare's got a couple low health tanks. Let's see what they do. I think they should push the E4.
Yep, they're falling back.
They should push
falling back. They're going to kill the E4. Gabby's moving in. Will she take a hit? Oh, she crashed into a rock. Oh, Gabby's getting decimated. Is she going to get killed by the E4? She does not. She gets killed by Houndstooth.
Let's see if
now
they can get Snipe
in the pocket.
Ooh, Donkey did not need to do that.
Donkey's now by himself, but here comes the E4. He's going to put a shell into Beaver, most likely. He's aiming up his shot. Will he find it? He does, and now it's just CJ by himself. Will he be able to get a kill before he goes down? No, he bounced off of Growing Mouse. And
Houndstooth's coming in with the ram.
All she wrote, and he does go down.
Very surprised that the 5041 survived that.
Yeah, definitely. How did the 5041 do?
I'll go over BK's damage real quick right here. We have 185. Rambler will give him 13. Don Cheeto will give him 17. Rain Man come in with 1800 in the Conqueror. Mouse and the Chieftain 2500. Gatman and the 5041 4 for 8. We'll give him 1500. Great and the E4 coming in 2365. Houndstooth looks like he's the big damage dealer on their side. 6 for 9, 2564. And Donkey with the 2151 over on Nightmare side. CJ coming in with 8 for 16. We'll give him 3600 damage. Nice game there. Gabby in the 1390, 1300. Dingy in the Batchat, give him 500. Snipe in the Batchat AP 900. Beaver coming in 4 for 9, 34. We'll give him 35. Kyle just couldn't pin any shots there. We got a 0 for 5 coming in with the donuts. MVG we'll give him 1,000, and Lonky coming in the I7 will give 2,000. Nice game, BK.
Very good damage spread on BK's side. None of them have insane amounts of damage, and none of them have really low damages.
And that right there, I think, is what what happened when you sacrifice the 10s for the 9s. Is in stuff like that, you don't have the armor and the HP to brawl as it came out there.
Yeah, you know, if they're going to go with a 1390, I feel they could just as easily have gone with a Batchat 12-ton. Because all they used the 1390 was for vision.
Looks like N's gonna go with the 7 tier 10s and the 1/8 this game.
I would like to have seen there in that last play from Nightmare would have been, and I don't know what they were thinking, but they had everybody on the hill spotted at H5 or 6. That would have been the time to just capitalize on those 3 tanks that were all by themselves at G4, or G2, I'm sorry. I would have liked to have seen a better push there, and those E4s really starting to move up.
I think the E4s for in there were, I think they stayed out of the fight just a little bit too long, sitting in the back. But I'm liking what N's doing here with the 1 tier 8. I don't think you're penalizing your team too much by running the tier 8 light. Plus, the Holland Hunt is a really good tier 8 light. It's got everything you need on it. So.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? For this map specifically, if you spawn up north, is running a Scorpion G and boosting him up to B1 instead of taking a Grillet or a Stritzvang, I feel. And then letting the enemy team play the cap circle. I think that could work.
I mean, even for this map, you could use, even a tier 8 Stritz or, the Udez.
Oh yeah, even that. You would never get spotted.
Any of those, especially the Stark Stritzvang S1, the painted one. Camo rating so high on that thing, you would have to be probably within 20 meters to light it up. I mean, that if you wanted to run that strat, I think that would be a good option there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now I want to try that. I want to play. Yo, let's redo this.
Because in WCL we actually ran the STRV against up there, and he wound up pulling out somewhere around 5k damage, and it was a really good spot. But I think a lot of people know about it now, so I think a lot of teams build their strats away from playing the 1-2 line when teams run that. So.
Ooh. I'm on a 3 this time.
I don't mind the M103. I think the heat rounds, maybe. But I would like to see BK go with just the 1 tier 8. Even an IS-3 or something. I mean, it can hold its own. The gun on it's really good. Or even a Defender. I mean, Defender bounces tier 10s like nothing. I mean, that thing bounced tier 10s like crazy.
A Borsig, an ISU down the 1-2. There's all sorts of things you can use. Maybe instead of the M103, a T30. Get another big gun in there.
I think definitely the Conqueror would probably be my top choice for a tier 9 heavy, and then right behind that I would have to say the Wheezy, and I say the Wheezy just because of the 130 mil that it gets on it. Big gun, super hard hitting. I mean, you're not really slacking off much there. I think the M103 is ran just because of the reload on it, and I think that's why the Conqueror's ran too. The Wheezy's got a little bit longer reload. I think it's about 11 seconds, so it's a little bit longer.
Does, but it still has a pretty decent turret, and then of course a gun that is punches very hard, very good for trading.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd run the M103. I feel just because it's Conqueror, in my opinion, is better in almost every way. It's got the better turrets, better gun handling, the better rate of fire. The only thing it doesn't have on it, in my opinion,
Conqueror
is hull armor.
The superior. Yeah, Conqueror is definitely the superior over that.
This time, Nightmare taking E5. Oh, FaZe is going to have a talk with him after this.
Uh-oh, somebody's gonna be in the
The
doghouse.
E5, the E5. I mean, yeah, the Kupla's weak, but on a map like this, I guess it's not terrible. There's much worse picks, I guess you can make.
If I had the
It,
choice
I mean, it's
between,
got decent DPM.
I
I take
I
a
think I'm
113,
pro
but I'd ultimately take.
E5.
oh yeah,
I would rather run the 113 over the E5, but I think a lot of people run the E5 for the heat rounds on it. Is why a lot of people run it. The heat rounds are actually really good on that tank. I see a lot of people running that just for the heat rounds. Is why I see a lot of people run. And it can be troll. Like if the underplate of it's angled just a little bit and you're angled shooting it, you know, you might get a 50-50 bounce out of it. You know, I think there's obviously much better tank picks, but I think the E5 is ran more for the heat rounds. Is what I think.
and another IS-7. All right, I'll run it down this time if you don't mind. I'll start on Nightmare on the left side.
Yep,
We have
go right ahead.
Kyle and Beaver in a pair of E4s, MVG and the Walker Bulldog, the M4190. There we go. Extra Snipe and Dingy in a pair of Bat Shats, Gabby and Lonky in IS-7s, and Stainless Cub in the E5. Over on BK, we have Donkey and I'm Great in Bat Shats. They have Dunchetto in an M103, Rain Man and a Conqueror. Then Houndstooth and Gatman Jesse, I think is how it would be pronounced, in two IS-7s. And Rambler in E5 and Growing Mouse in a Chieftain.
Alright, looks like we are all ready to go.
Once again, just like M103 over Conqueror, or Conqueror, I would choose the Conqueror. And this is the same thing with the E5 and the FV215B. In my own opinion, I would run, if I'm going to run an E5, if I have someone with a 215B, I'd rather run that. You sacrifice 1 degree.
Right there with you.
You sacrifice 1 degree of gun depression, but you just get that gun and that hit points, and in my opinion, the better turret. And then, of course, you get set on fire a lot. But you don't get as ammo-racked as much as the E5. That thing just, oof. Just, I've been popped
Let's see what
a
we
couple of
got
times in competitive
going
my
on
E5.
here. Ooh, Gabby got a bad spawn. Got all the way up and way out there. See, looks like I think Ian should go a little bit aggressive on these bat and 90 mil. I think they should run up the middle. There you go. There you go, BG. Oh, looks like Ian's gonna do the same deploy as last time.
Yep. Except this time without as much speed. They're actually, it looks like they're going to have a delayed push down the 2 line. They're going to wait, I think, and then push them through. E5 makes it through undetected. I7 is now coming around the corner. They're not detected yet. It looks like they might get the
Yeah, I
down
don't
the
think
middle.
those I7s are gonna light. I don't think they're gonna peak.
Oh, E4 fires a speculative shot at the I7. He misses. The next E4 only tracks him. Of course, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so it was worth taking. Nobody was engaging in anything yet. E5, both E5s are now spotting. They both engage shells. Neither of them penetrate each other.
And right here is where I will say I like an E5, just because of the gun depression on it and the reload. Just like a Chieftain, just a little bit more high profile.
Oh yes, this is definitely where the 15B would get outshined. Unless you're able to finagle yourself a little bit and get that extra degree of gun depression some way. Now the
I think
90
with
mil
3
E4s
people
are
in the
moving in.
cap, it runs the cap down to about 40 seconds. So let's see what.
Conqueror takes a couple of big hits, double tap by the E5, both IS-7s actually.
Definitely think that Conqueror needs to lay back.
He needs to
Let's see what
find a
Donkey
spot where
can
he
do
use
here.
his turret. Oh boy, the BK is going with the same move they went last time, which is pincering, and the E4s are not in position to assist. This might turn out the same way it turned out last game. E4's not in any position to help, and actually
I think
Beaver's up there.
MVG and Dingy are gonna play a role difference in this if they can start getting shots. Because Great's on a reload, So he's not going to be able to put shots into him.
MVG's putting in very effective fire into the back of Rambler in his E5. Now
I think they need to focus the Chieftain.
He's loaded up Heck
Focus the Chieftain.
there, and he does not finish off. He does not penetrate the E5. But Dingy is
Chieftain
able to finish
goes
off the
down.
Chieftain. And now here comes MVG. He's got his HEP loaded. No, he switched back to AP. He's now fighting I'm Great, who's on a reload. Looks like he realizes that. But he's going to be reloading in about 5 more seconds, so he's better make sure both of these shots hit. Conqueror is trying to find shots. Oh boy, MVG's taking
Dingy's
hits
coming
now.
in to support.
I'm Great misses his shots. MVG just needs to hit one more. Dingy saves him there. MVG looks like he's going to go
Dingy's
down,
on
but
reload.
not before he put in some very good supporting fire. King Donkey's now on reload. Where the Conqueror find the shot? The Conqueror misses, and now he's behind these heavy tanks. He's going to be able to put free damage, and he puts a shell in the Houndstooth. Is he going to get away? He's almost... No, he almost got away, but not before he completely turned turrets and heads around.
Oh, Gatman misses the kill shot on Cub and pays for it.
Kyle finishes off Gatman, and now it's just... Well, the scores... Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, that's right. It's 8 versus 8. I'm trying to add up the scores. I'm like, what's going on?
Donkey goes down. Let's see if Snipe decides to come around.
Is reloaded, and he's probably going to come behind, finish off both 9s.
Looks like Ian is going to get some redemption this game.
Oh, big hit into Doncho, and now here comes... Oh, Stainless snipes it in, weaves it in between his E4 and IS-7. And
Ian coming in with the redemption.
All right. Over on BK, we have King Donkey in his bat chat. Fired off 7 shells, penetrated 4 for 1600. I'm Great, unfortunately unable to penetrate the front of the IS-7s in that engagement. Fired 6, hit 3, no penetrations. The Conqueror, 2700 damage, did very well there. The Conqueror's gun was able to sing once he got into position. Chieftain, only penetrating 2 shots, 800 damage. M103, 2 shots as well, 800 damage. Then we have the E5, who did 2000 damage. IS-7, 1500, and the other IS-7, 1000 damage. Over on Nightmare's side, MVG with the greatest distraction I think I've ever seen. He did the same thing yesterday, too, as a distraction. 1600 damage in that tank, and he turned some turrets around and really broke that pincer up. Lonky in her IS-7 doing 1800 damage, almost 1700, bouncing a bit as well. Bat Chat, Dingy, 800 damage, but confirming 4 kills. Extra Snipe, almost 1600 damage. Stainless Cub, 3000 damage. E4, 2000. The other E4, Beaver, did almost 2,000 as well. And then Gabby in her IS-7 does 3,897 damage.
I'm not going to lie. I was really nervous that last battle when I saw BK starting to come around the backside, and I said, oh man, they're going to do the same thing again. They had 2 vulnerable IS-7s on the backside. They head towards the cap. Good job pulling it out. Good focus fire. Good teamwork. I think MVG and Dingy from the backside, and possibly even Extra Snipe, saved that for him.
Oh, definitely.
Knows
Alright
E4's landing
guys,
some big
looks
shots.
like we are going to proc, and BK has said leave the spawns the way they are. So
I think, until we get to the next game, I think how BK could have gotten out of that situation, because they had the upper hand, then they lost it with the 2 tanks behind them. Once they saw those 2 tanks, they could have, my opinion, definitely pushed and completely overmatched that middle, because 1 E4 hadn't caught up yet. And I think, was Nightmare down a tank by then? Was Lonky down?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, Kyle
No,
was
not
still
yet.
coming.
Not yet. You're right. Well, I think BK's best chance in that one was definitely to move in on that cap circle and kill everyone there, because they had the overmatch with the 2 tanks behind.
Oh, look at this. They're going to go with an IS-3. Wow.
Somebody's watching the stream.
Yeah, somebody's paying attention here.
Oh, man. I don't know, though. I might have went with another 8, a tier 8 light tank instead of a IS-3, but that could be a good pick.
I was
We'll see.
watching some 7 versus 7s on the computer in the same kind of setup where you can either pick 2 9s or 1 tier 8. And what a lot of them did was run the T-32 with the 90mm just for that turret armor, just to troll the enemy. And plus, with the premium rounds, I think it gets 258mm of penetration, more than enough to deal with any tank it'll have to fight, as long as it hits those weak spots.
I don't think a Patriot would be too bad in place of an IS-3 on this map. Once again, you get the turret armor, and plus the 5-second reload with the APCR is not bad. I personally would run the Patriot over the IS-3, just because you get the gun depression and you get the awesome turret armor on it. I wouldn't mind seeing that run.
Yes, that does well. As long as they don't hit your cheeks, I find that those are very weak. Which is why I think... Yeah, the T-32 and the Patriot, I think I would use over the IS-3, especially on a map like this. But then again, go with a light tank, maybe go with a Borsig, a Scorpion G, all sorts of tanks you can use. Tier 8 has a lot of pretty powerful tanks which can deal with Tier 10s just fine.
Not liking the T-54 pick. I would much rather see an E50 if you're going to run a single shot tier 9 medium.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, when we WCL2, when that was tier 9, we never really ran T-54s. I think our choice was the Object 430 version 2s. In my opinion, a much more competitive tank than a 54, just because it has a better turret, better gun handling, and then the better rate of fire.
The front armor on that is actually pretty decent.
That too, yeah. But I don't think I would run either of those with tier 10s. If I was Nightmare, I think I would pull out an IS-7 or 2 just to mess around with that T-54, because you know he's gonna be shooting heat. You pull out 2 IS-7s, it's not gonna have a fun time shooting the sides of IS-7s.
Another E5 again. Strange.
Yeah, on this map, I'm more pro Chieftain over the E5s.
Yeah.
On this.
I know Stainless Cub has every tier 10 unlocked and purchased. He has every tier 10 you could ask for. So it's not an issue of selection.
I don't like the 2 E4s on this map. I don't agree with it.
No.
Too slow, too long a reload. Just not a good map. Too big of a map for them.
Oh, Gabby and CJ both have bat chats. Those two, I love watching those two play together. They're
Alright, looks like we are ready. Alright, I'll run down BK if you want to run down the end. Alright, so we got Houndstooth and Great coming out in a pair of V4s. Don Cheeto and Mouse. Don Cheeto's coming out in the 1390. Mouse coming out in a T54. Donkey coming out in a Bad Chat 25T. Rainman and Gatman Jesse coming out in a pair of V5s. And we got Rambler coming out in a Chieftain.
Over on Nightmare's side, we have Kyle in an Object 140. Devil and Gabby both in Bat Chats. MVG in an IS-3. Dingy in an IS-7. Stainless Cub in an E5. And Extra Snipe and Beaver both in Chieftains.
Alright, let's get it rolling, guys.
I kind of see where they're going with this. They've already got 2 Chieftains, so they can't select a third. They're looking for depression over the IS-7 or the 113. I still think I would have rather have seen a 113 or an IS-7 over the E5, but I see where they're going with it. They're planning to play the field side of the map.
I don't mind seeing a 2 and 5B in the bowl, like E2, E3, the bowl area. I've seen a few teams run those before, and you can get away with it because it's so high up that you don't really need all the gun depression. You got the turret on it, all they can really see. But it's be interesting to see what everybody
I'm seeing a
plays.
double repair kits. I don't know
Yeah, I
what's
see
going
that.
on here, but I'm seeing a lot of it.
Is it on Nightmare's side? Because I told them all to do that. A lot of them were running food, and yesterday I think we had 2 people get set on fire, and then just burned out. And I was like, you guys aren't running fire extinguishers or at least 2 repair kits to fix your fuel tank? And they're like, no, we run food. I'm like, no! But from this side, I personally like the IS-7s better than the Chieftains. I feel you can get up on this ridge near this rock and get your 6 degrees of gun depression to actually work. And it's a lot harder to dig out than a Chieftain.
I think the Chieftains and E5s for Nightmare are going to play a big difference in this game.
We've got everybody working the mid-ridge. It's going to be a fight here. Who's going to get the better angles?
If Beaver and Snipe realize this E4, I don't know if they can get shots on him.
Oh yeah, if they get spotted.
Oh, they definitely should have put
putting
shots on
into them, I
those.
think. I'm great takes a hit.
Those
there. I don't know about
E4s.
whom.
These Chieftains need to focus these E4s down there, shooting a T-54 behind cover.
I think they're trying to knock it. Yeah, they're wasting shells. They're just trying to knock down the buildings. Beaver goes for the side cheek of the E4, bounces off there because it was angled. They're both poking up, bounces off the shell off the cupola. E4s are aiming up their shots. If they've got gold loaded, they'll go straight through the hull down Chieftains. Let's see if they realize this. I'm great, fires off a shell. Doesn't look like he hit anything.
I would like to see Beaver and Snipe put some Hesh rounds in here
Oh yeah.
and just start chipping away.
That would be beautiful.
Cubs
Shells.
getting hammered. Cub took 2 big shots.
Oh yeah, he's got the 54. Is actually looks like he's finding some shots from where he is, and so is King Donkey. I think
I
it's
like
King Donkey who actually
Gabby
put it in.
and I like what Gabby and CJ are doing. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive though.
Yeah, we've got Kyle up there as well. Kyle's actually putting in great side shots. He puts the shell into Jesse there. Jesse turns his turret for a second for the 140, and as soon as he does, Stainless Cub and Dingy both punish him for it, put shells into the side of his turret, and he loses about 1,200 health in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Little mistakes like that is all it takes to lose health.
Yep. And that's the thing with the BK right here. Do they focus the hill or do they focus the heavies? Looks like Don Cheeto may go down here. He's
Yeah,
in a
send
pickle.
him by himself. And,
2-on-1.
2 bat jets coming in,
Ooh, both
bouncing
shots
off.
missed on him.
They're not going to
Oh,
want to
shit.
poke
What?
over. They've got King Donkey waiting for them to poke. And we've also got Growing Mouse. Nobody else is... Oh, the E5 Rain Man is turning around as well. So definitely if those bat jets come over, they'll have a
I
surprise.
think Gabby should play under the bridge on the tracks and with CJ. That way they put a cross in the 1390. Not he's going to get out there for free. Mouse getting hit on the way across.
Oh, Devil taking some hits. He's getting clipped out by the 1390 and hit by the Batchat. The Batchat is now reloading though. Though I don't
Gabby
know they
may
realize
take
this.
out Don Cheeto.
Gabby takes him out.
Nice.
Is she going to be able to take out the 54 as well? No, she's reloading. Devil still has some shots left. We'll see if he's able to take him out. He doesn't know that King Donkey is reloading. If he did, I guarantee Growing Mouse would probably not be alive right now. Over the other side, looks like I'm great is taking another
I think
hit or
CJ
two.
should just go over, do a sweep, and come back under the tracks right there.
Chieftain's making a bold play for the ball. From here, he's going to get very good positioning on these E4s and put very good shots into their cupolas.
Ooh, CJ's going to take out the 54.
There he goes. He goes down.
And
The
here
Batchat is
comes
now reloaded.
Bat.
Chieftain is going to put some shells into the E4. I'm wondering if Beaver's going to just push over and kill the E4 1v1 him. I think now would be a good time to do it. He's by himself, and then he can turn his attention to I'm Great and kill him as well. It looks like he might do it. He's trying to get a better angle on this E4. Oh, somebody put a shell into the E4. It looks like it was Stainless ammo racking him. Oh, now
Ooh, Beaver's going to take out Great.
Gabby finishes off Great, and now
Beaver coming in
should
for
have a
hounds.
kill shot. No, he's going for the
What is he?
E5 instead. Oh no, Somebody finished off Rambler. I'm not sure why he didn't choose to go for the E4. I think that's who I would have executed. Oh, but now he finishes off the E5. He's just finishing tanks one by one. I guess he realized the E4 is by itself, so it's not really a threat. So I guess that was a good choice.
Oh, and Hounds bounces. Bounces to kill, maybe.
Batchat face hugs the E5 and manages to penetrate him. Not sure where, but he found it. Probably in the turret ring. But the IS-7 rams him, and
coming
MVG
in.
finishes him off.
I'll go down BK's damage real quick right here. Don Cheeto and Donkey couldn't get anything rolling. Neither one of them broke 1,000. Rambler and the Chieftain coming in, we'll give him 1,600. Jesse just is missing everything, coming in with a donut. Rain Man, 1,575. Houndstooth in the E4, we'll give him 1,800. Great in the E4, just couldn't get any shots out, coming out with a donut. And the T-54 with the 1 for 9 for 335.
Oh boy. Over on Nightmare side, we have...
Get in trouble by that aim.
Oh yeah, Stainless and his E5 coming out with 2,000 damage. Gabby or Batchat 2,800 damage. Inner Devil coming out with about 1,000 damage there in his Batchat. WNF Beaver making the bold plays, getting 1,800 damage and 2 kills. Extra Snipe and his 1,600 damage. Kyle up on the hill actually managed to do 2,200 damage. MVG confirming 2 kills in his IS-3 and 660 damage. Then we've got Guttadingy in his IS-7. Doing the most damage with 3,100 damage in his IS-7. Looks like he rammed someone too. Only 6 penetrations. Oh, it was that Batchat, wasn't it?
It was the Batchat.
Yeah.
They got rammed. I like to play there from both teams. I like the setups on both sides. The one thing I wish I would have saw BK do there a little bit differently would have been just to get somebody over the track sooner to look out for Kyle being up on the hill. I've always been a big fan of not getting too many tanks on top of that hill because you can get yourself in some big trouble. There's not a lot of places to hide once you get up there.
Yeah, that's an all-or-nothing play up there. What I would have liked to see is, well, first of all, not the E4s at all, but I would not have put the E4s in the field. 6 degrees of gun depression. Having 6 degrees of gun depression means you can't work the ridge, which means you're always going to be fighting from the low ground. The enemy is always going to choose when they want to shoot you, when they want to engage you, and those E4s are very ineffective, especially with those tall cupolas.
Not only that, but there's not a lot of mobility. This is a big map, especially in the field. There's a lot of different angles to look at. Those turrets don't rotate very fast, and they don't swing all the way around. So it's not a real good idea to, if you're going to play an E4, to try to get it up there. He's really limited to the one line or playing as close as he can to the train tracks, I suppose, or up on top of the hill. Really, there's not a lot of good places for that tank on this map. In competitive play, that is.
I think really the only TD I think would be ran reasonably on this map is the Stritzvong. I could see that being ran over the E4s, but other than that, you probably want IS-7's Chieftains, you know, Bats, maybe a light. But other than that, I just don't agree with the E4s being ran.
Yeah, the Stritzvon's a good one, and that's for a couple of reasons. It's just got an insane amount of DPM. It's got a pretty tough frontal armor, and it can hide.
Don Shadow is pulling out an LTTB this time, giving them an extra tier 10, which is definitely what I would have done. I think LTTB is a good choice. Go for the... I think he's going to go for the bush with the LTTB. Because you have Batchat, so you already have vision, so you would want to do something sneaky with the LTTB. Otherwise, I feel just using an IS-3 or a T-32 would work just as well.
Alright, I'll run down BK's side again. We got Great coming out in the E4. Don Cheeto coming out in the LTTB. Donkey and Houndstooth coming out in the Bats. Gatman coming out in the IS-7. Mouse, Rain Man, pair of E5s. Rambler and his Chieftain. Take it away, Clone.
All right, we've got Kyle on the 140. It's actually the same setup. We got Kyle on the 140, CJ and Gabby in Bat Chats, MVG in IS3, Dingy on IS7, Stainless in an E5, and Extra Snipe and Beaver both in Chieftains.
All right, guys, let's get this rolling. Looks like it's a little bit more fair matchup this time.
Be interesting to see if either team starts with sending one tank to the hill. That's going to be interesting. I do expect them to both play the field again, so hopefully we see another good fight. So it does look like both teams are going to go right for the hill. Another fight coming.
Alright, sorry about that. Looks like my stream is lagging a bit, but this is just a test stream, so I'll hopefully have that figured out. It's weird because it was running really smooth earlier. Now it's kind of slowed down. Oh, and it's smooth again.
Ooh,
Oh,
Donkey
no,
took a small hit.
Donkey making
I
the
definitely would like to see N do a hard one with their bats. I would like to see those guys do hard one, get down to A1.
Oh yeah, they can definitely.
Chieftains take opposite side of the bowl.
If they really,
you know,
really want to.
I think their chieftains, N's chieftains, should go ahead and get down into like E3, start pinching those heavies in. Instead of trying to try
getting
snipe.
clipped out by the Bat Chat up on the hill. Bat Chat bounces 2 shells off his tracks. So no damage.
I think the
was done.
chieftains need to get down into, you know, like D3, and they could easily wear those heavies out.
IS7's trying to cross the trains. I think he doesn't like where he is. Yeah, the IS7s are just in the kill
those
box
bats
right now.
those bats are gonna start pounding those heavies.
I think Gatsman was smart to go across the tracks, but now he pokes up on the tracks and immediately gets punished for it. Batchat bounces off his side twice, though, however.
Gabby's on a reload. CJ's on a reload.
Houndstooth comes up behind them, actually. Now he's there, and so does the other Batchat. They're going to be, or the LTGB, they're going to be clipping out Kyle. Kyle with an automatic fire extinguisher. He listened to me. Thank goodness. LTGB puts some shells into him. Unfortunately, the Batchat goes down. And now he's going to be fighting this 140 by himself. Unless
Let's see if Donkey's smart enough to help his buddy.
MVG's coming in. The IS3 coming and gives some support. He's not spotted.
Donkey's firing shots.
Donkey, yeah. The LTTB's gonna be by himself. MVG gets spotted. That's because the LTTB comes around going for the assassination. He might be able to get it, but no. Kyle's able to whip the shot off.
No.
Now he's coming around again. This is gonna be the execute. Oh, he gets the ammo rack.
Oh,
he's
ammo
able to
rack.
avoid the shot. He's not able to avoid the shot.
Yeah.
And he goes down. Now there's a 2-0 lead for Nightmare, and they also have the hit points. However, Kyle is a one-hit, and executing him won't put them right back in this game. Batchats are now making that one-line push.
Ooh, Dingy takes a double hit for almost 900 combined.
Batchats are going to cause some real issues. Especially CJ, where he's getting. If he can get around, he can kill this chieftain. He's spotted now, but he's putting shots into the chieftain. He puts one into him, misses his second, and now he's going to pull back. He's not going to be able to get another shot, I don't think. That's a hold down chieftain. That's a hard shot. However, he's now finding shots into the E5. Those shot misses. Rain Man now has his turret turned.
And I definitely don't think that is a lack of skill there. I think just the Batchat gun is very bad at times.
Oh, definitely.
You can have your reticle at the same spot, pin one, and miss the next four without even moving your reticle. It's just like that.
E5.
These E5s are actually putting up a good hit on the Chieftains. This is a good battle right here.
Definitely. However,
this
I think
is where I
just
definitely think the
too much at the beginning.
Yep. This is where I definitely think the heat rounds come in effect over the APCR.
If Kyle gets spotted,
Kyle's
he's
poking
probably
up.
gonna get killed by these E5s.
Yeah.
But he's not getting spotted. He must have a good camera crew on there. I think what these backchats can do now is definitely move in after this chieftain and then really cause some dilemma because everyone's spotted. They know where everyone is. If they move in, even if they die, they'll get turrets turned around, and then their Nightmares, E5, and IS-7 and Chieftains can really start doing some work. But I think they're going to go for the clean sweep here. Gabby's now spotted. She's pulling back.
Clone got Dingy's fuel kit is messed up, and he doesn't. I mean, his fuel tank's messed up. He doesn't have a repair kit. You gonna have a talk with him about that?
Oh, does he not pack a fire extinguisher? Where is he? I mean, he does have
he's got
a fire extinguisher, so I'll let it pass this time. Finishes off, hits a very
Rambler goes down
of the chieftain. Very top of the tank. His shell did not go straight.
Now I think Ian can just move in for a little assassination. These E5s. Like to see the bats just come in full out, start taking them out.
Beaver's taking some hits. The E5s are really showing up. Oh, he gets caught out by the bat chat. He goes down, tracked out side on. Roaring Mouse takes a hit to the side of the tank by Extra Snipe, damaging his ammo rack. The question is he able to fix it? Let's find out.
Bats are going to come in and do some cleanup right here.
Rain Man has 2 repair kits and cola. That's very interesting. Now he's getting just clipped out by the back shots. Misses his shot on Inner Devil. And now it's just a matter of
I think Donkey should, reload and go in for MBG.
MBG's coming in. He's not spotted.
Get him a kill.
Great takes a hit. Looks like MVG put a shell into him. He knows he's up there, but here comes Stainless. Stainless gets caught by the IS-7, then ammo racked. But he does survive. E5 fires and misses a shot. He goes down though by Inner CJ. And now MVG's trying to fight a Batchat almost by himself. He does have support. Will he go down? Well, let's see how this Batchat does against his Soviet side armor. Puts one into him. Is he gonna get him? Bounces because Soviet side armor. And he finishes him off there. But here comes Gabby. Oh, she's not loaded yet. But they don't know that. King Donkey's now hiding. Gonna try to find some shots into Gabby, I think, but
CJ's gonna get the kill over her.
Aiming up some shots. Here comes Devil, almost fully loaded. Puts one into him, finishes him off there.
Man, that is winner chicken dinner. I'll run down BK real quick right here. Donkey coming in with some massive damage there. 10 for 22, 3,600. Hound's 2s will give him 1,200. Nobody else broke over 1,000, but the IS-7 and Jesse will give him 2,000. Klunga.
Okay, over on the other side we have Beaver. 1,100 damage. MVG finding a couple shots there. 800 damage in his IS-3. Then the 2 Batchats together did almost over 4,000 damage. 2,800 by CJ. 1,400. We'll give her 1,500 by Gabby. Extra Knight in the Chieftain does 2,300 damage. Stainless does 800. Dingy in his IS-7 once again 3,500 damage. And Kyle, even though he got clipped out early on, almost dead. 2,600 damage.
Well, that was definitely a good game by both teams. think it was a pretty entertaining matchup to watch. It was kind of impromptu from these guys, so I definitely applaud them all for coming out and playing tonight. It's what we want to see. And also everybody to make sure that you stay tuned to our Discord channel and also our website. We're going to announce, I would say, excuse me, the start times and start dates for the 3 versus 3 tournament that's coming up. If you haven't seen it, you haven't heard about it, check out the website, which is oneextralife.com. And if you go to the tournament section, you'll see a link to register for the 3 versus 3 tournament. And over at the rules section, you can see the format, the layout, and also the pricing for the 3 versus 3 Tier 9 tournament.
Yes. And those who are watching who know.
By the way, Pants, can you put Chief down for July the 10th against 8-Bits? We'll do a GTL game then.
Certainly, we can certainly do that.
Yep. I told them today 8-Bits usually is always good for a game, so sure it wouldn't be an issue for them. It's about a 2-week advance. We'll put it down and give everybody a good show.
Yeah, that should be a good one. That'll definitely be a good one.
Those of you who are watching the YouTube, of course, anyone listening to this would be watching it. We were experiencing lag. I wanted to try 1080 today. It didn't work very well last time I used it, but I wanted to try it again just because I wasn't streaming anything else. And yes, there was getting some lag, but do not worry. My internet will be upgraded in July, and we'll be able to handle the 1080. But for now, we're going to switch back to 720 just so that we get the full 30 FPS.
That's great. Good to hear. And I want to thank everybody that came out and watched tonight as well as the players that came out and played. I'd also like to thank everybody for tuning in, viewing, and checking this out. I hope you guys enjoyed the match, and I hope you kind of enjoy the fact that we're trying to do something a little bit different. We're not quite sure on, we know it's going to be Tier 10 based, but not quite sure on, per se, a format. We want to make this interesting. We want to bring strategy to it and not just see 7 bat chats and 7 IS-7s running around on the map.
Yeah, I would like to see the format be optional for the teams. You know, come up with 2 or 3 different formats that are allowed to be ran and give the 2 teams the choice of what format they would like to be ran that night. You know, you get the standard 880, the 878 or whatever that is tonight, and then if people want to go 9s with tier 8s, come up with a format like that, and then the 2 opposing teams just agree with whatever format they want to ran that night instead of it just be based, hey, this week we're going to do 880, next week we'll do this. I think come up with 2 or 3 formats and give the teams 2 options of what they want to run that night. Keep it mixed up.
Tier 5s.
Oh, absolutely.
Wolverines with the dirt gun. Go golfing. That would be fun.
Yeah, guys, I think I am going to sign out for the night. Thanks for having me. It was fun. I always enjoy watching other
Thank
teams
you for coming
play.
out.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, everybody, again, for tuning in and joining and watching the show. Greatly appreciated. And we'll be back next week. We will do it again.
All right. Thanks, Pants, once again, for putting this on. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.
No problem. Thank you for streaming.
You're welcome.